Hi everybody, welcome to Running Reimagined. For those of you that don't know, my name is Coach Dylan Hopper, and in this new segment, I'm going to walk through every day talking about the things I'm doing building up to my first ultra marathon. This was kind of cued at the beginning of this year. I really needed something big to sign up for. I was in a bit of a funk where, I wasn't running like I know I can, and it wasn't fun, it wasn't enjoyable, I wasn't enjoying the process of putting in training, and so I asked myself what is something that I could really get excited for and build myself, back into the enjoyment of running, and it really was an ultra marathon. So let me see here. So that's what this new segment's going to be about. Is going to be about my training and things I'm doing, people I'm talking to, and learning and kind of along the way, as this is my first one. So I want to make sure, I'm looking over here at my computer to make sure that the sound is good. Let me see here. It looks like sound and video is good. So yeah, so that's what this new segment is just talking about my training, building up to this 50-mile race that I'm going to do. It's July 27th. And kind of a part of that, and part of the topic that came up today was from a Running Reimagined viewer who had messaged me directly and really asked, he said to really explore talking about being in a running funk and getting out of a running funk, because he was able to really connect with that, and he was looking for things to do that would help him start to enjoy the process again and get back into it. And I think that's totally normal to go in and out of that love for running. I think that's that classic love-hate relationship. But I think it's one about changing the mental mindset, which I had talked about in the very first video of this series, or maybe the second video. And then, I talked about nutrition and things yesterday, and then today I wanted to talk about some key questions that you can ask yourself. And these are some of the questions that I asked myself when I was trying to get myself back in it. And, I really worked pretty hard through January and then February. And now, I'd say I'm in my third week of consistent running training. I did a lot of yoga and, other exercises outside of running in January and in February, and I didn't put that pressure on myself to really get in the miles. I'm starting to get in those miles now. But the questions that I kind of asked myself, one of the big questions was, what are the big things that you find joy in running? What are like those specific things? Why do you love to run? What are the specific items in there? Is it the community? Is it the being out in nature? Is it running in new places? Is it pushing yourself? Is it competing with yourself? Is it competing with others? What is it that you find joy, in this sport or in this lifestyle? What are those specific things? And again, these questions, I think maybe you don't answer right now. You can if you want to, but I think it's more about maybe journaling or going out on a run and thinking through that process of that. Because the idea behind figuring out what you find joy in this sport is to then go out and do more of it. If you love to be out in nature, figure out how you can get out on more trails. If you love to be in the community and right now you're not enjoying running, most likely you're not a part of a running club. Go out and be a part of a running club. Figure out how to, implement the things that you like so much, within your daily training schedule. Another question that you can ask yourself, if you weren't capable of running, anymore, would you miss it? Kind of a little bit of like a rocking chair question. Have you kind of done everything you've wanted to? Is there anything that you would look back and be like, God, I really wish I would have, done this race or trained for this race, or, really given my best effort to beat my PR in this race? And if the answer is yes, hopefully that will kind of start to motivate you. I know that was able to, kind of answer the question for me as far as getting back into it. I want to run, an ultra ultra marathon. I want to run several ultra marathons, and I want to get into it. And so for me it was, I would miss it, and I didn't do everything that I wanted to, and there's still so many things that I want to accomplish and so many different races that I want to run in. So that was, a question that I was able to answer and work through, and that's, it led me to signing up for the White River 50 mile. Another question you can ask yourself is, once you kind of, ask yourself those questions, that kind of sets it up. Then it's, what do you need, to hold yourself accountable? What do you need to put in place to hold yourself accountable? Is it, having a running buddy who, is gonna, show up at your house on Saturdays and pick you up and go out and run, or is it maybe posting on social media saying, hey, I'm gonna post, every day of my training. I know this is something that is also gonna help me be accountable to training for the 50 mile is the fact that I'm bringing everybody else along. It's very public on Strava, so people can go and see my Strava, and they can see all my runs. It's a very public thing. It's helping me, or the social media aspect is helping hold me accountable. What do you need to hold yourself accountable? What are the pieces you need to put in place there? I gave the example yesterday about how I drink far too much coffee than any human being should. And so what I did was I had basically portioned out the amount of coffee for myself for like 1 to 2 cups per day. And then I had my girlfriend hide the rest. So the coffee is hidden somewhere within our apartment, but I don't know where it is. I don't have access to it, and that's fine. So that's something that's holding me accountable on that little thing that I'm trying to do or trying to limit. So it's asking yourself, what do you need to hold yourself accountable? And more often than not, we know the answers to these questions. It's just a matter of being disciplined and putting those things in place. But it's really about putting up the guardrails. So then when you start to go off course, you have things to correct you to get you back to training the way you want to. And then the last kind of question, it's a little bit rhetorical in a sense, but how many runs have you really gone out on that you didn't want to, and then you ended up regretting? How many times did you go out the door when you didn't want to, and then once you're out there, did you really regret it? I know for myself, there's not many runs that I've gone out the door and regretted being out there. Once you're out there and you start to get in the rhythm, and once you get through the first couple miles, then you enjoy it, and you're happy you did it, and you finish, and you feel good, and your endorphins are running, and I don't know, there's not too many runs that have gone out there and regretted going out there. So those were some of the key questions that I felt that you can ask yourself to help kind of get you out of that funk. I hope that viewer who had asked me the question, I hope that helps you. I want to continue to be able to help as many people as I can through this channel. So if you have any questions yourself, feel free to just either put them in the comments below or message me directly, and I'd be happy to help. So yesterday I did a 7-mile run, 7-ish. It was just over 7. It was supposed to be easy. The thing I'm going to be struggling with is being disciplined now that I'm starting to get in shape. I've never been good at keeping the pace slow on my easy days. So the biggest thing that I'm going to be working on these easy days, which a lot of the days in the next coming weeks are easy, as I'm just trying to really build a foundation and build that base. I really need to make sure that I hold myself back and make sure that my easy days are easy. That's so important. So then I can be able to recover. And then, at that point when I do start adding workouts and harder runs, then I have a real strong base to build on, and I won't have those injury issues. If I go out and I'm starting to push myself too hard now without building that base, that's when people run into injury issues. So that's kind of my mindset, my thinking right now is to build up that base as strong as I can. So then, when I do start to add in the workouts and the fast finishes on the long runs, and the tempo runs and the fartleks and all that, I'm going to be strong while I go through those. So that's what I had for you guys today. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please like the video. If you know somebody who would benefit from this segment, I'm going to be just doing this pretty much every day, just giving it an update. If you have anything, feel free to share it with your friends that might enjoy this. And have a great day, guys. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.